Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Dr. Professor Dr. Noraini Idris, President of the National STEM Association, Prof. Dr. Ibrahim, Director of the Center of Foundation Studies in Science, University of Malaya, Associate Professor Dr. Farida Sonsuddin, Chair of the Third International STEM Seminar 2021, speakers, presenters, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Third International STEM Seminar 2021 at the University of Malaya, and our theme session for this year is STEM Models of Success, Programs, Policies and Practices. I'm Dr. Kartini Abdul Jabbar, and I shall be the MC for this morning. And without further ado, I'd like to invite Encik Amirul Muhammad Khairimanan for the recital of Doa for this morning. Please be invited, Encik Amirul.
Thank you, Dr. Kartini. We begin our dua with the recitation of Kitab Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين 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 يا رب العالمين Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, and for those who followed his example till the judgment day. Ya Allah, Ya Kareem. On this blessed morning, in conjunction with the Third International STEM Seminar 2021, we seek your blessing for successful events from the beginning till the end. Make us responsible intellectuals. Grant us with valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind in order to gain your bardadillah. Ya Latif, Ya Shafi. Please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayat. Please guide us all to greatness, peace, glory, and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Give us good health and protect us from this COVID-19 pandemic. Ya Allah, forgive us for our wrongdoing. Rabbana alayka tawakkalna wa ilayka anabna wa ilaykal masir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you, Encik Amirul. So to begin with our Third International STEM Seminar, I'd like to invite next Associate Professor Dr. Farida, Chairman of the Third International STEM Seminar 2021, to give her welcoming speech. Please be invited.
Thank you, Dr. Kartini. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Kamila Ghazali, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International University Malaya. Yang Berbahagia Dr. Professor Dr. Noraini Idris, President of the National STEM Association Malaysia. Yang Berusaha Professor Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad, Director of the Center for Foundation Studies in Science, or PASUM, distinguished guests, deans, invited speakers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Third International STEM Seminar 2021. This seminar is an annual event of PASUM since 2018, and it is the continuity for last year's STEM webinar, which was held on the 18th December 2020. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this year our webinar will be conducted virtually in a one-day program, but we promise you will not regret attending this webinar. With this year's theme, STEM Models of Success, Programs, Policies and Practices, 5 invited speakers, 3 technical speakers from the Guidewire software company, and 12 presenters from various institutions will share their ideas on STEM education. To all participants, I hope you will enjoy this webinar, and I'm sure there will be lots of new information presented from the presentation which will help in upgrading your teaching method and understanding on STEM. Before I end my speech, on behalf of the STEM committee members, I would like to extend my gratitude to Professor Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad and PASU Management for giving us the chance to conduct the first virtual international STEM webinar while we are still facing the COVID-19 pandemic. We also would like to express our thanks to the management of University of Malaya and the STEM Center for the cooperation given and for being supportive to our programs since the first National STEM seminar held at our center. Without their support, this seminar will not become a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Associate Prof. Dr. Farida Samsudin. Next, just to inform you that the Third International STEM Seminar 2021 in University of Malaya is organized by the Center of Foundation Studies in Science, University of Malaya, in collaboration with the National STEM Association, Malaysia. I'd like to invite next Professor Datuk Dr. Nuraini Idris, President of the National STEM Association, Malaysia, to give her welcoming speech. Please be invited.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Dr. Kartini, our MC of today. Yang berbahagia, Professor Dr. Kamilah Ghazali, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic and International. Yang berusaha, Professor Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad, Director, Center for Foundation Studies in Science, University of Malaya. Associate Professor Dr. Faridah Samsudin, Chairman, Third International STEM Seminar 2021. PASO Management Team, plenary speakers, invited technical speakers, lecturers, teachers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. To remain competitive in the global economy, we need to build a strong workforce in STEM. So today's theme, STEM model of success, is very, very relevant. All young people should be prepared to think deeply and to think well so that they have all the chances to become innovators, educators, researchers, and leaders who can solve the most pressing challenges facing our nation and our world, both today and tomorrow. The resolution of STEM education emphasizes on the application of knowledge, skill, or values from the STEM discipline in an integrated manner. Ladies and gentlemen, a vibrant competence in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is central to building and increasing our global productivity, and government globally are investing in improving STEM education. There is significant underway across the country in school and education system by industry and universities to lift student engagement and attainment in STEM and to support teachers to improve student outcome. 6 fundamental elements of a cohesive and meaningful STEM models that, when applied, can build a strong STEM foundation. 1. Purposeful implementation of STEM framework. 2. Inquiry-based and student-centric classroom with collaborative atmosphere. 3. Open-ended projects. 4. Challenging in the interdisciplinary lesson. 5. Well-defined learning outcomes and properly assessment. 6. A flexible workspace and sufficient resources. As we know that now in is pandemic, we cannot just rely on our four wall of classroom. So it need to be flexible. STEM aims to foster analytical thinking and acquiring minds, logical reasoning, and collaboration skill. All people, young people should be prepared to become the innovators, educators, researchers, and leaders who can solve the most pressing challenges facing our world today. National STEM Association, established in 2018 to promote STEM for all and to fly STEM and talent higher. We have been working closely with all agencies, industries, and government. And today, we really support University of Malaya to organize today's third International STEM Seminar. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like to thank all our active and our supportive committees to make this conference happening today, and hope every participant will back with a lot of excitement and ideas to help our STEMs to become a successful one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and have a nice seminars, and we'll be able hopefully to see you again next year, 4th International STEM Seminar. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Nuraini Idris. Next up is the officiation ceremony by Professor Dr. Kamila Ghazali, our Deputy Vice Chancellor in Academic and International at the University of Malaya.
Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Nuraini Idris, President of National STEM Association, Yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad, Director, Center for Foundation Studies and Science, University Malaya, Associate Professor Dr. Farida Samsudin, Chairman, 3rd International STEM Seminar 2021, Associate Professor Dr. Nur Hashida binti Hashim, Deputy Director, Academic and Student Affairs, Center for Foundation Studies in Science, University Malaya, Dr. Said Bahari Ramadan bin Said Adnan, Deputy Director, Research and Development, Center for Foundation Studies in Science, University Malaya, PASU Management Team, Heads of Division, Plenary and Invited Speakers, Lecturers, Teachers, Students, Presenters, and all participants that we have gathered here today. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I would like to welcome all participants and invited speakers to the 3rd International STEM Seminar 2021 with the theme this year, STEM Models of Success, Programs, Policies, and Practices. Congratulations to the STEM Committee at the Center for Foundation Studies in Science, University Malaya, for organizing the 3rd International STEM Seminar 2021. I would also like to thank University Malaya STEM Center and the National STEM Association for their collaboration. There have been many initiatives taken to encourage students to venture into the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics or STEM field in secondary schools and at the tertiary level. This is to ensure a continuous process at all levels. Institutions of higher learning in Malaysia and abroad have emphasized on the importance of creating a sustainable STEM education ecosystem, which is the responsibility of the wider society and not just the institutions. The wider society will have to play a key role in enabling and encouraging learners to become active and responsible citizens. The younger generation needs to be equipped with a STEM foundation that will enable them to become agents of future scientific and technological breakthroughs. In order for this to happen, teachers need to have the support and resources to nurture the next generation of STEM workforce. STEM models of success, programs, policies, and practices, which is the theme for 2021, will focus on the STEM programs, STEM policies, and practices by the governing bodies, schools, and higher learning institutions. With the world facing numerous significant challenges, the COVID-19 pandemic, climate change, ecosystem degradation, transformation of future job markets, to name a few, there is now more than ever a need for STEM educators to contribute solutions to complex problems facing the world. The theme of the seminar begs the question, are the STEM program policies and practices still relevant during this changing era, especially during the post-pandemic, where almost every level of teaching has been digitalized? For instance, in practice-based teaching, such as those in laboratory practices, physical distancing requirements will limit access to the on-site course locations, the labs, computer rooms, and discussion spaces. These are critical to the student experience. By implementing a virtual experience, how can we ensure that students can have the opportunity to develop the practical, technical, and creative skills required for STEM disciplines? In another aspect, the pandemic also has encouraged us to think about the importance of presence and the value of all students and staff to be connected to their discipline and learning community. Working from home has become the new norm, but can it be effective for teaching and learning? What effective collaborative practices amongst and between staff and students can be developed within and beyond the STEM discipline or individual institutions? Administrators, policymakers, and educators need to rethink how to change assessment instruments while ensuring they remain valid, verifiable, and equitable. Is everyone ready for the open book exam? What changes to formative or summative assessment practices can be implemented that promote meaningful learning and positive learning behaviors, specifically in STEM learning? The requirement to work differently has provided an opportunity to reimagine who, what, when, and how we teach. To ensure that we do not go backwards in terms of data interchange and social mobility, success cannot be dependent on access to Wi-Fi and technology. Success cannot be dependent on a secure home environment or financial security. Due to the limited resources, not all students may have equal access. In a resource-limited country, how can we provide access to STEM learning to all students regardless of financial background? How can we prevent the pandemic from compounding current inequalities? What changes can be made to ensure that STEM education emerges more equitable and inclusive for staff and students, especially those from the B40 category? These are some of the crucial questions that need to be dealt with. Overall, I hope this STEM seminar will be a great platform for STEM students and teachers from different localities to gather and share new ideas and learning outcomes of their STEM projects during this changing era. STEM education should be enriched by the 21st century learning skills, including creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration. We hope all these ideas will be shared during the third International STEM Seminar by all participants to enhance the development of STEM education, especially in Malaysia. I wish all of you a fruitful seminar. Thank you.
That marks the officiation of the Third International STEM Seminar 2021. I'd like to invite everybody, all participants, speakers, presenters, everyone present to turn on your camera so that we can have a photo session, because this is the usual practice. Can everybody please turn on their cameras?
Okay, in the counting of 1, 2, 3, I will take the photo. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Another shot. 1, 2, 3, smile. Last one. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you, Dr. Tini.
We'll be starting with our first plenary session. Our first plenary session speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Laili Cik Rose. She is the Director for the STEM Foundation Center in University Malaysia Terengganu. She'll be talking to us on STEM programs and practices in Malaysia. Associate Professor Dr. Laili Cik Rose was born in Malacca 54 years ago. She started her duty as a chemistry science teacher at UPM matriculation in 1994. She then became a lecturer in UMT Terengganu in 2001. She teaches chemistry, physics, colloid chemistry, and cosmetic chemistry. She then pursued her PhD studies at University of East Anglia, United Kingdom, in 2009. After a PhD, she returned to UMT in 2014. Other than teaching, she started to busy herself by highlighting and talking about STEM courses to secondary school students in Terengganu. By doing so, this has led to the establishment of STEM Foundation Center in UMT. The STEM Foundation Center offers STEM Foundation programs to all SPM students, both science streams and non-science streams. The STEM Foundation in UMT is the only public university foundation center that offers the course to SPM graduates who did not take the science stream. Starting in 2017, she was appointed as the first dean of the STEM Foundation Center in UMT until today, at present day. Other than that, she was also given the position of Deputy Chairman of Public University Foundation Council. Let's put our hands together for Associate Professor Dr. Laili Cik Rose and her talk on STEM programs and practices in Malaysia. Please be invited.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Can you listen? Can you hear me?
Can, Prof.
Yeah. Wait, I will share my slide. Okay, can you see my slide, Kartini? Dr. Kartini?
Not yet, Prof.
Not yet. Wait, yeah. Wait. This is my first time by using this platform, and we tried yesterday. Okay, open share tray. Right. So, Dr. Kartini, can you see my slide?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Alhamdulillah. Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all. Okay, so today my turn to present STEM programs and practices in Malaysia. As mentioned, I'm from University Malaysia Terengganu, a director of STEM Foundation. Okay. So first of all, have a look. Yeah, this is our RV boats at UMT. So welcome everybody. Okay, so this time during Malaysia's independence 2020, yeah, so me and my students given the chance to join the celebration of Malaysia's Independence Day 2020 and introduce this is the UMT's RV boat. Okay, this boat normally used for scientific pelayaran, and then we also bring a few scientific equipments that is suitable for the sample that we want to collect. Okay, so this is just for the introduction of UMT. All right, so I will present today. First, I will have an introduction. What is STEM actually, and then what is the challenge of STEM education in Malaysia, and also my role today. I will share the programs and practices in Malaysia, but in my talk today, I will be sharing the specific programs and practices that I have been involved in regarding MOE, MOHI, NGO, and so on. Yeah, and then I will also share a STEM practice at UMT Terengganu, and then lastly we will open for Q&A. All right. Okay, as we know.
Sorry, Dr. Lali.
Yeah.
Can you minimize the MS Team pop up there?
This one, yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
this is all right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, as we know, everybody knows about STEM, right? STEM is an educational program developed to prepare primary, secondary students for college, graduate study in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay, all right. So, and in addition to subject-specific learning, STEM also aims to foster inquiring minds, logical reasoning, and collaboration skills. All right. So the challenge. So now we can see that we have challenge in Malaysia. We have challenge that first, decreasing enrollment of science students. As we know, when we go for UPU, okay, we can see that decreased enrollment of students, science students especially at secondary education level. And then from PISA, okay, from the data of international assessment studies, we also can see that lagging in science achievement and literacy of Malaysian secondary students for science and mathematics. Okay, this towards a poor critical thinking skill in ability to connect STEM knowledge to real life problems. So everybody knows about this. Okay, we know about this challenge. It's happened many years back and until today, right? And then new era of learning. Student nowadays, okay, as a new version of students, nowadays they have a different mindset and outlook, different set of interests and skill, okay, they have a different way of thinking and reacting, okay, not similar like we many years back, okay. Teachers need to evolve and change. So to that, teachers need to evolve and change the way they teach to meet students' learning styles and needs. Okay, we have to know about the high technology, especially during nowadays we heavily use, okay, high technology by during COVID-19, okay, fast pace, connected world. Teacher need to change faster, develop new teaching skills. So teacher means here is teacher at school and also at the university, okay. So promote problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, time management, and adaptability. So this we can promote during the activities that we can handle with all the schools and the university students. Okay. Okay. So some elements of inquiry-based education. So in education, we have that inquiry, okay, first create students' curiosity on a phenomena. Okay, we have to ask questions, and then the procedure, we have to investigate, explore the phenomena using scientific procedures. So normally for like we are from chemistry like myself, so we have to show them what, why, and how to get the answer, and then the conclusion. So we have to make a conclusion from the investigation, from the exploration, and then from the experiment in the lab and so on. Okay. All right, so this is for example. So maybe we can ask student how the bridge at Terengganu, yeah, they have that drawbridge. Okay, they can lift that, okay, the bridge, and we can ask the student what happened, and then they must have the reason in their studies. Okay, like hydraulic I think in their syllabus at school. Okay, all right. Significant changes to the world. So as we know nowadays, we have 4G, 5Gs, and then fourth industrial revolution, okay, digital disruption, job landscape. 5 million jobs will have been lost to automation, and however technologies advance will create new jobs. So nowadays they must have many new jobs that created by the phenomena happen today, especially during the COVID-19. Okay. So my role today, I have to share like STEM programs and practices in Malaysia. Like what I said just now, I will sharing the specific programs and practices that I have involved with my strategic partners, UMT strategic partners, okay, in STEM activities from MOHI, okay, universities, okay, from MOI, so from the, like we have STEM Center, Pusat STEM Negara, and also from NGO and others. So from NGO, just now Datuk Noraini did mention about the National STEM Association, and at Terengganu, we have the National STEM Association Chapter Terengganu. Okay, so for MOHI, so from the universities, I think all universities in Malaysia, they have the mentor-mentee program. So mentor-mentee program included 3 component minimum. That is from the universities or industries, and then from the schools, okay, and then another one, okay, the universities, okay, included the facilitator and the mentor from the university student or from industry. And then we have a school, okay, from school we have teachers and also school student as a mentee. So mentor-mentee program I did involve since 2015. Okay, that time I joined National STEM Movement with Datuk Noraini, and then she introduced a mentor-mentee program among school students. And impact of the program, okay, impact of the program of the mentor-mentee, okay, the fellow students have been given the chance to undergo the STEM subject. So the fellow students, they are from schools and also from the university, okay. They'll be given chance to undergo the STEM subject, which a much more easier and interactive way. So normally we will run with fun learning, yeah. We have to we have a module to run the mentor-mentee program, and at the end of this meeting or the activity, the student will be able to further understand, okay, what and how they will explain during the activities. And then normally now we use the online, because nowadays we have COVID-19, so we cannot go to the school, so we will conduct the program by using online, okay. And then by mentor-mentee program, students will be able to discover more knowledge about STEM application. So normally we will try to connect the application for every activities that we handle with the students. And then these activities will creating a stronger bond with the lecturers, okay, foundation students. So for my part, I will involve my foundation student as well as the foster school student. So for now we have 54 adopted schools all over Negeri Terengganu. Okay, so in the activities we can develop 4C element, that is critical thinking and problem solving throughout the activities, and then we can improve their communication, okay, and then collaboration, and also for the creativity. So this is come from the mentor-mentee program, okay, and then this is related to top 15 skills that shows here, okay. They have 15 skills that we need to develop among the students nowadays, right? Okay, so let me show the videos that we conduct a mentor-mentee STEM at UMT. Okay, the technical maybe can help me. How can I? Okay, can you hear the videos?
No, Prof. Can you reshare and include the sound?
How can, yeah, because yesterday so what I have to do now?
Okay, unshare.
Yeah.
Okay, unshare first.
Okay.
Prof, pangkat dulu yang sharing tu.
I stop sharing and then now open share tray. So now you will share.
Okay. So now Prof share, and before choose the screen, Prof include computer sound.
Okay, include the computer sounds from the screen. Where can I see that?
Before upper from the screen. Sebelum screen tu dia ada atas button tulis include computer sound.
Oh yeah, okay. Include system audio.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is my first trial by using this platform. Okay, now we can share, yeah. Okay. Again, okay, so this is the mentor-mentee program, the video that 2000. Can you hear? Can you see?
Yes, Prof. Yes.
That's good.
Bila bertalu rentak di kalbu, hasrat yang tersirat semakin kuburu. Bila bergema
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Bila bertalu rentak di kalbu, hasrat yang tersirat semakin kuburu. Bila bergema naungan gempita, harapan bernyala, nadiku berganda. Gemuruh jiwa, semangat membara, dari puncak ingin ke angkasa, berkalungkan bintang berkelipan, menyerlah jauh dari yang biasa. Bila bertalu rentak di kalbu, hasrat yang tersirat semakin kuburu. Bila bergema naungan gempita, harapan bernyala, nadiku berganda. Gemuruh jiwa, semangat membara, dari puncak ingin ke angkasa.
Kalau yang ni kan ada kotak dia kan. Kotak dia kira. Ni ada berapa kotak? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kira berapa kotak, lepas tu pasang. Nampak tak? Ya? Pasang satu tu dulu. Guna warna merah, guna warna ni. Pasang wayar yang dia dekat mana? Lepas tu sambungkan dia ke sini, kira ada berapa kotak? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So kat sini kena ada 10. Kalau 30 tolak 10, 20.
Semangat membara, dari puncak ingin ke angkasa, berkalungkan bintang berkelipan, menyerlah jauh dari yang biasa, menyerlah jauh dari yang biasa.
Okay, so normally the ratio of the mentor and mentee is 1:5. One mentor, one university student. Okay, they will do the activities. 5 students from the school, yeah, they are mentees. Okay, so this is the achievement of mentor-mentee program at UMT. Okay, and then. So this is our partners, like we have JPN Negeri Terengganu, and also the principal of adopted schools, yeah. And then during COVID-19 started last March 2020, last March, we quickly changed the mode of the activities that we try to use online STEM community reach and engagement. So this is the activities that we still continue the activities of the mentor-mentee program, but now we change to the this situation that the mentor from the university, they will connected with the school student by online, so they will use their phone and then the computer, yeah. So this is for the example that the activity that we still do until today, okay. And then the school student, we encourage them Okay, the teachers will help them to have the at least they have the mobile phone from schools, and then we are happy to see that schools here they have their phone to 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 they give phone to the student to use for this, okay, for this program, right? Okay, so this is an example how they communicate. Okay, so the mentor will give the activities to the mentee, and then they will try to get the answer of the activities by what and then why and how. So they will explain by the mentor. Okay, and then they will try to relate the application of the all activities that they will conduct. Okay, so this some of the mentors. Yeah, mentors are my foundation student. Okay, so this is I think they have the activities of the physics activities, yeah, like the Cahaya. And then this is the situation that mentors mentoring the mentee, okay, during their mentor-mentee program. Okay, and also we have online, we also create a studio that our student will have the activities online, okay, throughout the Facebook and then YouTube, okay, to share the activities with the school student all over the Negeri Terengganu, okay. And then my lecturers also develop a kit, okay, kit by using apps, okay, for science and mathematics. It's suitable for COVID-19 situation and also when we back to normal situation. Okay, so this is the activities before, I think this is up and down before the COVID-19, before PKP and then PKP again. So we can go to the school, and nowadays we cannot go to the school. We continue with online activities. So this one, I think before we had MCO, the 2.0, so we still have a chance to go to the school. So these students actually, they are OKU, so they are murid berkeperluan khas that we try to boost their interest in STEM by using the robotic. So we can see that these students, they still have interest in STEM, but in robotic, the coding, and we teach them how to connect the parts of robotic, and we try to teach them also by using simple coding, okay, towards robotic activities, right? And then this one we can we also continue the activities in the lab, but the mentor will guide the mentee at school, and then they will show by using their tablet. Okay, the one of the friends will do the activities, and then they will explain to the mentee what and how for everything that happened during the experimental done. Yeah, so this is the sample that we call like hybrid activities for the science part during the COVID-19. So we still continue the mentor-mentee for laboratory. Okay, and then this one is before I think MCO 2.0. We still have the workshop for robotic 2020 last time, I think before this was September. Yeah, so we have 3 schools at Negeri Terengganu that they are murid berkeperluan khas, like I said just like I told before. So we have 3 schools that they are murid berkeperluan khas that we try to give them okay, knowledge about the robotic, right? So some of the mentors, and we also include the JPNT and also the teachers. So so this photo shows that they have the teachers. Okay, they expose the teachers to the robotic. Okay, and then we hope that teachers can knowledge transfer to their student at school as well. Right, and also this one is from the KPM, that this is our studio. Okay, during the COVID-19, we managed to get 1 studio, and then we do the activities by using the studio, okay, with our adapted schools. Okay, And then one of our strategic partners, okay, one of our strategic partners in STEM activities is Pusat STEM Negara, and then so Pusat STEM Negara, a newly established and center under MOE, so is established in May 2018. So the main function of STEM Negara, as we know, to develop competency of STEM teachers. So they will focus to teachers, okay, planning and implementation of engagement and on enrichment activities, planning and coordinating research and develop activities, and data and STEM resources repository. So Pusat Asas Sistem, okay, have strategic partners from STEM Negara, and this is the strategies for STEM Negara that they increase student, teachers, and parents awareness about the importance of STEM. Okay, and then they will increase student interest and skill through integrated STEM, okay, and then increase teachers' competency. Okay, so we will work together with students, schools, and the university, right? So these are the strategies of the STEM Education Initiative for the STEM Negara, and then they have like STEM Roadshow, okay, they have PDG, YP, KPM, they have STEM for All Carnival, and then very soon they will have one conference with Pusat Asas Sistem for the STEM International Conference. We will work together, and then we will have a conference in September, okay? So I think aim of STEM education for STEM Negara is same with what the Malaysia needs, okay, to produce STEM literate students who are creative, innovative, inventive, and able to identify, apply, integrate STEM concept, and then to solve a real world problem, okay. And then this is the activities STEM approach, hands-on and integrated, okay, similar like what we did at the university, okay, the university and the school, we are the same concept of the STEM activities. Okay, and then like I said before, key skill throughout the STEM activities, we can develop a problem solving by ask them what and how, creativity, okay, critical analyzing, and then teamwork, independent thinking, initiative, communication, and then digital literacy. Okay, so this is the program that we will work together with STEM Negara in September. Okay. Okay, so 5E model, engage student using connection to prior knowledge. What student will do? Explore, explain, elaborate, and then evaluate. Okay. Okay, and then one more, our strategic partners in Terengganu is Pusat Science and Creativity Terengganu. Okay, so they also have a similar program, Science and Creativity Gallery. They have a huge gallery at Negeri Terengganu for the PSKT, Pusat Science Creativity Terengganu. Okay, so I think these photos can explain you more about the PSKT functions. Okay, they have the mentoring project, teachers training, remote sensing, soft skill training, mentoring, robotics, and then science inspiring. Okay, so I think they are similar what we are work together with the mentor-mentee program, okay, to increase interest, okay, STEM among the school student and also the university student. Okay, innovation workshop, so they also have the innovation, how to contribute in the workshop and so on. And then STEM project workshop and competition, so they conduct many competition and workshop. And then STEM awareness program, okay, they teach also the coding workshop, turtle camp, okay, so Negeri Terengganu is familiar with turtle, so we have the turtle camp, okay, World Science Day, okay, and then they have a lot of activity for the creativity. And they also have the outreach program. So UMT okay, work together with PSKT, with outreach program. We have a school exhibition, STEM talk, astronomy, okay, and then you have a school mentoring, right? Okay, so at Terengganu, we also have National STEM Association, like what Datuk Noraini mentioned in her speech just now. So now we have National STEM Association and in Malaysia, okay, started 2018. And in Terengganu, we also have National STEM Association Chapter Terengganu, we call it NSAT. So the main objective of the NSA, I think, is similar with all the NSA National STEM Association in Malaysia. Okay, so we cultivate interest, strengthen effective, okay, encourage STEM innovation, recognize outstanding STEM, and then to be a medium of support and backbone to the STEM ecosystem in order to produce innovative and competitive persons. So I think this is a very good medium, okay, platform to promote STEM, okay, overall in Malaysia. Okay, so for NSAT team members, okay, we have University Malaysia Terengganu, okay, myself as a president of the NSAT chapter Terengganu, and we work together with UNIZA and also JPNT, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Terengganu, and we have a school, okay, SMS Sains Sultan Mahmud SESMA, one of our good schools in Terengganu, and then also work together with Pusat Sains and Creativity Terengganu, PSKT. So this is among NSAT team members. We also have members from industries and many others. Okay, so this is the members of NSAT and SAT, okay, National STEM Association Terengganu. And then the activity that we plan to have for this year and next year, we will conduct 3M STEM peers coaching. So 3M STEM peers coaching is the similar with the mentor-mentee, okay, but this one is for two-level mentor-mentee that we want to introduce a mentor from the school, the elite school, and then they will go to sekolah harian, and then they will mentoring each others, okay. And then we will also have a quiz of STEM, okay, maybe for Negeri Terengganu, and also conference, and we have a lot of webinar series sharing expertise. So this one that was I think last year, or maybe we just started to form our NSAT with Datuk Noraini, and then these are the NSAT members of Negeri Terengganu. Okay, we have, I think now we have near 100, okay, members for NSAT. Okay, we will target to get more members from Negeri Terengganu. And then at first we have a isu dan cabaran siri webinar with Datuk Noraini and my Vice Chancellor, my okay, former Night Chancellor, and we include, okay, two schools that elite school and also sekolah harian, so to share their different background of the PDPR at school, okay. And then these are some of the series, okay, the activities, the program that we practice at Negeri Terengganu. We try to help the school, the teachers from school for their PDPR, and then we share all the online, okay, online platform like Google Classroom, Google Slide, Drawboard, and also we share with the green screen and OBS. Like SESMA, they have the experts from their teachers, okay. Cik Muhammad Fazli is one of the teachers, the expert in green screen and OBS. I think the green screen is very good, okay, because we can change the background of the activities, and then we can show them the reality by using the green screen and OBS. Okay, and also we will have a good connection with JPNT, okay, sesi bual bicara with all the school in Zone Timur, okay. We will have a discussion, and then we will work together, we plan together how can we increase STEM, and then in Negeri Terengganu, okay. Okay, so this is the activities, okay, to pupuk minat pelajar towards STEM, okay. We also have the discover. We invite all the school students to UMT. That was before the COVID, and during the COVID-19 this year, we also do the discover UMT. We invite all the schools come to the university, and we have the researchers to show all their research, and then we also have the faculties to introduce their scientists and whatever, okay, in their faculty to the school student to open their minds, okay. So let me share how STEM Foundation at UMT actually formed in 2018. Okay, so in 2016, that time we don't have the foundation at UMT, but myself and some of the teachers or some of the lecturers, we involved with the mentor-mentee program. So that time UMT have 10 schools from 1 and 3. And then we work together with the teachers and school for mentor-mentee. And then 2017 we adopt more school. We have 20 schools. Okay, we active do the mentor-mentee program. And then okay, 2018. Okay, we start to have a STEM foundation. Okay, and then we have the first intake STEM foundation in 2018. And then 2019, we have 48 schools. And then for last year, last batch, 2020, so the mentee from these activities, so the mentee from the mentor-mentee program in 2016, now they changed their status from the mentee to the mentor. Okay, so before this in 2016, okay, that student, she was in Form 3, and then from the mentor-mentee program, she chose science tooling in Form 4, and then continue her SPM, and then now she is in my foundation STEM center, and then now she changed the status from mentee to mentor. I think this is a very good success story that from the mentor-mentee program we can open their mind, open their interest in STEM, and at the same time we can attract them to our program at the university. So this is a win-win situation for us at UMT and school students. Okay, so so this is our STEM Foundation cohort 1, cohort 2, and cohort 3. So now we have 222 students. Before this, we only have 60, and 89, and 220. And then this year, we try to increase numbers of the students. And some of the students in this cohort 3, they are from the school that we have the program, mentor-mentee program. Okay. And then also we have a program, STEM Foundation, that we open to non-science student. Okay, so I think in Malaysia, STEM UMT, okay, STEM Foundation UMT only the foundation that open to non-science student, and we until now we have a student from non-science student, and what we can prove that they also can follow the STEM program, and then what they also can get the good result, okay, at par with the another student from the science stream. Okay, it shows that it's still too early for us to streaming the student, because when we give them chance to switch their interest from arts to science, they still can do it. Okay. Okay, then this is the activities that we also try to give a chance to the student. Okay, so this one they have one model for the pelabuhan. Okay, and then this is for the we try to have this is a murid berkeperluan khas. Okay, and also we work together with KPM for pelajar istimewa for robotic. And then this is the activities, and then I think before I stop my speech, a good teacher shows you where to look but not what to look. Okay, so this is our team. Okay, my student and also RV team. Okay, at the Drawbridge Negeri Terengganu. Okay, and then this RV, as mentioned before, they use this RV for the activities for the pelayaran scientific. Okay, they will have the simple equipment in this RV, and then they will collect the sample during their pelayaran, and then they will have the some of the research with that sample. Okay, and then with that, I will thank to all and thank you very much. Okay, any Q&A, Kartini?
Okay, thank you, Prof. Laili.
Is it?
Just to inform all delegates and all participants, if you have right now we have a Q&A session with Prof. Laili. If you have any questions, please raise your hand so that you can ask the question. The technical team will give you the unmute you to provide you with the chance to ask your question. But to start off, is it okay if I ask some questions?
Yeah, please.
Prof. Laili,
Yeah.
it's very inspiring to know the programs that's being done by UMT with the Mentor-Mentee program and now with the Foundation STEM program.
Yeah.
What were the main challenges in starting the Mentor-Mentee program at UMT in 2016? Did it require adequate finances? What about manpower? And right now with this COVID-19 pandemic, was internet connection also another challenge, because that would be important for the program?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Kartini. Okay, first the challenge. So they must have the challenge for everything, right? Yeah. So first for the manpower. So in 2016, when we started to have the mentor-mentee program, I tried to get the team members from the faculty. That time we don't have the foundation, so we try to get the lecturers that have interest. Okay, and then they just volunteer. So that is the volunteer work. Okay, so I'm so lucky because that time I have 6 people from us. Okay, from the faculty. Okay, for science, and then for the technology from the engineering department, and then also we have from the mathematics department. Okay, so we work together, and then we have activities, and then and we also have support from my VC. That time was Datuk Noraini, and then she support our program with the finance. Okay, they give some money to us to have activities with the school student, right? And then during the COVID-19, Dr. Kartini, like what I said, we quickly changed the mode of the activities. So at school, we know that not all the students, they have the internet, okay, and then also they don't have the gadget, the phone, and so on. And then what we can do is the mentor will try to use many platform. Okay, if the student they have the phone, they can use the phone, or else they will share with the like email. Okay, and then what, so any platform, okay, they will try to use it. And then they sometimes I can see the mentor, they're using the voice note, and then they can share. And then the teachers also, they have the passion from the teachers and support from the teachers. And we are so lucky because some of the school here, the principal, they create a one room for the I think for the makmal for this PDPR. And then I think PDPR normally they are so normal, they like a new norm to change now, a new reality. So every school they have the I think they have the makmal for the teachers to have their PDPR. Yeah. The challenge is everywhere, Dr. Kartini, but well, we are so lucky. And then nowadays we have the foundation, and then we are in Foundation STEM Center, we have lecturers, and then all the lecturers now they involved with the mentor-mentee program.
Did it require a lot of financial support
for the activities?
Yes.
Now during the, I think during the COVID-19, they not need much finance, right? We just have we only to create the activities by using the phone, the laptop, and so on. The online much cheaper, I think. We don't have to go to the schools. We don't have to go the transportation. We just try to use the handphone and so on by using the online. That's why we at the STEM Foundation Center, we have the one studio. From the studio we can do the activities with all the school students.
All right. Just a gentle reminder for anyone who wants to ask a question, please raise your hand so that the tech team can basically put forward your question. I also have another question, Prof. Laili.
Yeah.
Starting the programs in schools require collaboration from the state education departments. For your mentor-mentee program, you had Form 1 and Form 3 to start with at 10 schools. Was there much difficulty in getting the state education department involved?
No, at first we have to tackle the state JPNT. So we have to follow the procedures, okay? So we have to understand how they work. Okay, normally we cannot go directly to the schools. Okay, we at first stage we will select 10 schools, okay, and then we will give them that school name to the JPNT, and then we ask them to give a letter to the schools. So they have the procedure, Dr. Kartini. Otherwise, the school will reject us because the teachers and the student, they cannot involve with others without the permission from the JPNT. Okay, so every move we will have a proper way to connect with the JPNT, and now we have the JPNT in our team. Okay, so we select one of the, because in JPNT they have the officer that need to handle with the STEM activities. So like now we have Cik Zamri, and then Cik Zamri will together with us in any program that we will plan to do for the mentor-mentee program or whatever program in Negeri Terengganu. So it's easier if we follow the procedure because they have the SOP for the school student. Yeah.
All right. I don't see anyone raising their hands to ask any questions. So let's just put our hands together for Associate Prof. Dr. Laili Cheros for her talk on STEM practices and policies in Malaysia, and talking to us about the mentor-mentee program and also the STEM Foundation program at UMT. Thank you very much.
Or in Malaysia, Kartini, just part of programs and practice in Malaysia. Yes, part of, not all. Okay, because I'm not involved all the activities in Malaysia. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right. So we shall be moving on to our next plenary session. Our next plenary session speaker is Madam Zalina Muhammad Noor. She's a teacher at SMK Taman Melawati, Kuala Lumpur, and she'll be talking to us about early parenting in STEM education. Puan Zalina Muhammad Noor and her husband Zulkarnain Zainal are blessed with children, all of whom took the STEM path as successful career choices. Puan Zalina graduated with a BA Honours in Usuluddin at University of Malaya in 1990, and later furthered her studies and obtained an education diploma from the International Islamic University Malaysia, UIA, in Islamic Education and Arabic Language. She currently teaches at SMK Taman Melawati, Kuala Lumpur, and she'll be talking to us how she had nurtured her children to take the STEM path. Let's invite her.
Please unmute the microphone, Puan Zalina.
Ya, sudah. Saya nak share.
Di button atas sebelah kanan. Sebelah lift ada button yang anak panah ke atas.
Oh, sorry.
Okey, nampak?
Nampak tak?
Nampak.
Okey. Yang tu yang 14 kali. Okey. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajma'in. Saya harap saya boleh bercakap dalam dua bahasa di sini, ya. Okey, yang berbahagia Datuk Profesor Dr. Nuraini Idris, Presiden National STEM Association, Prof Ibrahim, Pengarah Pusat Asasi Sains Universiti Malaya, Prof Madya Dr. Faridah Samsudin, Pengerusi Third International STEM Seminar 2021, speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Baiklah, saya akan bercakap berkenaan dengan early parenting in education ya. Saya daripada Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Teman Melawati dan telah pun bertugas di Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Teman Melawati selama 30 tahun. Okey. Berkenaan dengan ini ialah saya nak mengucapkan juga ribuan terima kasih kepada Universiti Malaya ya, kerana sudi menjemput saya berkongsi pengalaman dalam mendidik anak-anak kepada STEM. Lagipun saya dah berkecimpung dalam dunia pendidikan selama 30 tahun dalam berbagai-bagai peringkat untuk mendidik anak-anak dan juga mendidik anak-anak bangsa kita, iaitu sebelum ni semua maklumat mesti kita cari. Sekarang maklumat di hujung jari. Malah setelah kita bekerja pun kita mesti berhati-hati. Jadi menyediakan anak-anak ke arah STEM perlulah berhati-hati dengan kasih sayang dan secara beransur-ansur. Ya, kerana mereka ini mendepani cabaran dunia moden hari ini dan kita perlulah menyediakan anak-anak yang kompeten kepada dunia kepada masa akan datang supaya Malaysia maju dan terkehadapan. Okey. Parents are the first teachers for children and they are the best teachers. This is because parents can develop their children's own interest and at an early age. Ya. Melentur buluh biarlah dari rebungnya. Ya. Ini ialah peranan ibu bapa dalam mendidik anak-anak ke arah STEM. Ini tugas. Kerana guru-guru di sekolah mereka dah dapat buluh-buluh ya. Itu penting yang perlu kita ketahui. Jadi ibu bapa lah orang yang pertama sekali untuk memperkenalkan mereka kepada STEM ini ya. Okey. Teachers also play a role in school to develop children's interest. For example, encouraging them to explore learning and develop interest towards STEM. Ya, ini peranan guru-guru juga. Saya pernah mengajar seorang murid. Murid ni kiranya kelas yang terakhir lah. Kalau di Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Taman Melawati itu kelas yang ke-13. Tingkatan 3. Ibunya pernah berjumpa dengan saya. Dia kata dia nak jumpa dengan guru-guru sebelum ni, mengatakan anak dia bodoh. Tapi sekarang anak dia telah mengambil jurusan engineering di UTM Skudai, Johor. Saya kata kenapa dia boleh berjaya macam tu? Sebab dia kata dia selalu dengar nasihat daripada Ustazah Bonda. Jadi mereka tak pernah tahu siapa itu Ustazah Bonda. Jadi saya pun kata sayalah Ustazah Bonda itu. Jadi maksudnya kita cikgu kena memainkan peranan untuk menaikkan semangat dan juga memotivasikan murid. Okey, walaupun saya ni berkelulusan background dalam in religious education, for me religion cannot be separated from science and life. Okay, I always tell my children that a doctor can be a religious person, but who studied his religion first. Kerana dalam agama kita pun menggalakkan kita supaya belajar. Talabul ilmi faridatun ala kulli muslimin wa muslimat. Sabda Rasulullah SAW yang bermaksud wajib ke atas setiap orang Islam, Muslim dan Muslimat untuk menuntut ilmu. Man tariqu ilal jannah, siapa yang hendak pergi menuju ke syurga, maka dia mestilah menuntut ilmu. Barang siapa yang inginkan dunia, maka dia pun mesti menuntut ilmu. Ya. Jadi saya terpanggil untuk menerima tawaran memberi taklimat tentang ini ialah kerana berkebetulan Allah nak bagikan anak-anak saya semuanya daripada PASUM, dan saya percaya di sini pun ada ex-student saya yang mengajar, ya, yang mengajar anak-anak saya, Encik Jezri, ya, Zulfaqar Arif, PASUM juga sekarang sudah bekerja sebagai surgeon di Hospital Selayang. Zainatul Fadilah, PASUM, sekarang ni bekerja sebagai farmasis di Hospital Bentong. Zulfa Izzah, sekarang ni dental student, 4th year. Zainatul Nabilah, engineering, engineering 1st year, ya, di Universiti Melaya juga. Okay. Seterusnya, how to develop an interest in STEM early childhood to primary school. Ini yang saya sebenarnya saya nak kongsi apa yang berlaku, dan juga saya selalu beritahu kepada rakan-rakan untuk memotivasikan anak-anak ke arah STEM. Ya. Improve children's thinking abilities. Encourage them to think creatively and critically. The question of why it happened, who made it, how it happened. For example, if they look at the table, what can they imagine? Ini selalu saya tanya kepada anak saya. Kalau nampak meja, apa yang awak nampak? Dia kata meja boleh nampak kayu. Bermaksud dia tak sampai lagi imajinasi itu. Kerana untuk belajar STEM ini, mereka perlukan kepada banyak imajinasi. Ya. Look into something, encourage children to look at things that spark their interest, such as animals, trees, vegetable, globes, and so on. For example, take the kids to Zoo Negara. Keep pets such as cats, growing vegetable in the home area. Pernah juga saya panggil pakcik untuk menanam pokok di rumah saya. Okay. Choice of game. Every term break, I will take the kids to the toy store to pick up a game that they like and ask them why they are interested in that game. Jadi kita tanya kenapa mereka nak pilih mainan itu. Jadi kita akan menggarap mereka ke arah untuk berfikir secara kreatif dan secara analytical. Kenapa mereka mesti memilih permainan itu. Okey. Permainan-permainan ini sebenarnya sangat penting, ya, kerana apa permainan ini penting? Sebab melalui permainan inilah mereka dapat berfikir dan juga berinteraksi antara satu sama lain, berinteraksi dengan kawan-kawan, berinteraksi dengan permainan itu sendiri, bagaimana mereka menjaga permainan itu, sehingga kan kalau anak saya tu yang sulung sekarang ni umurnya sudah 30 tahun, permainan dia tu boleh lagi dimain oleh anak dia sekarang, ya. Jadi interaksi mereka terhadap permainan akan membentuk mereka ke arah bagaimana kerjaya mereka pada masa akan datang, iaitu dengan ketelitian. Itu penting, ya, dalam murid-murid ataupun anak-anak yang akan mengambil STEM ini perlu kepada ketelitian. Jadi pada peringkat awal kanak-kanak, ketelitian itu mestilah dibentuk. Jadi bagaimana pemilihan permainan, bagaimana mereka berinteraksi dengan kawan-kawan, adakah mereka ini hendak bermain bersendirian atau sebagainya. Okey. Balas seterusnya, provide appropriate play equipment such as telescope. Saya pun pernah beli teleskop ini untuk anak-anak saya, by asking kids to look at the stars and the moon at night via a telescope. They will learn about universe. They will wish to be closer to nature creation as a result of this. That means the universe was created completely systematically. Okay, bagaimana kita nak memberikan pengetahuan pendidikan kepada anak-anak bahawa alam universe kita ini begitu sistematik keadaannya, dan siapakah yang akan membentuk sistematik alam itu yang boleh diwujudkan kepada kehidupan kita. Okay, syringe and stethoscope. These tools encourage children interest to be a medical doctor, a dentist or pharmacist in the future. Okay, biasakan anak-anak dengan permainan. Kalau lagi bagus, saya percaya mungkin doktor, profesor, sebagainya, ada yang the real one. Stethoscope yang real. Jadi mereka ini boleh mendengar, boleh mendengar aliran darah itu berlaku di jantung, di tangan dan sebagainya ya. Ini jadi kita belikan ini. Jadi kalau tak perlu mahal sebenarnya, tak perlu dah komplit sangat ke sebagainya ya. Okey. Seterusnya Play-Doh. Okey, Play-Doh ni peringkat umur saya ingat dalam peringkat umur setahun lebih sikit pun mereka dah boleh main Play-Doh. This game can encourage children to be creative and express themselves through the object they create. Ini pun boleh membentuk anak-anak kita minat kepada untuk mencipta sesuatu yang baharu dalam kehidupan mereka, dan tidak terlalu bergantung kepada ibu bapa dan sebagainya. Okey. Seterusnya chess game. Stimulate children's thinking to do strategies that can be applied in life, because everything can be planned well if you want to be good. The same goes to our lesson. Jadi permainan chess ini, walaupun saya sebenarnya tidak pandai bermain chess ni. Kalau saya main chess mungkin boleh jadi damula ya. Jadi damula. Jadi saya mungkin di sini peranan suami saya lah menggalakkan mereka untuk bermain kan. Jadi mereka boleh berfikir. Jadi bila saya tengok mereka pandai bermain catur, saya bagi tahu dengan mereka kalau boleh membuat strategi serangan, kenapa kita tidak boleh membuat strategi untuk pelajaran kita lagi bagus. Jadi hafal step-step itu ya. Jadi saya biarkan anak saya, kadang-kadang ada juga kawan-kawan tanya, anak pergi mana? Lama tak datang, hampir sebulan. Oh, dia mewakili daerah ke peringkat negeri untuk bermain catur. Dan saya memang mencadangkan mereka untuk bermain permainan catur itu. Malah anak saya Zulfa adalah team player sekarang. Okay, car racing toys. At home, I provide a special room for children games. They are a car racing track. This can encourage them to compete and focus on their intellect and vision. Rumah saya tak adalah bersamana. Mungkin orang kata dalam satu rumah tu kalau nak sediakan tempat permainan khas untuk anak-anak satu bilik, mungkin dia banyak bilik. Tidak sebenarnya ya. Dalam bilik mungkin seluas I think master bedroom macam tu lah ya. Jadi buat track supaya mereka ini dapat satu persaingan untuk berlumba dalam diri mereka. Remote control car, because the presence of different surface track, it can help increase the sensitivity of hand-eye control. Alphabet puzzle sangat bagus ya untuk memory training. Memory training mereka. So kerana STEM ini memerlukan satu memory yang sangat kuat untuk membolehkan mereka menghafal formula. Okay, baby doll for girls. Encourage children to have a sense of responsibility for their family and the community. Ini pun bagus untuk merangsang sikap bertanggungjawab terhadap family. Kitchen playset can develop and assess a child's imagination. Kitchen playset. Okay, block building like a Lego game can stimulate children creativity and imagination. Okay, ini ialah gambar-gambar permainan-permainan untuk early childhood. Ini yang boleh merangsang untuk kanak-kanak. Ini permainan yang macam ni kat rumah saya dulu. Ini adalah track kereta lumba. Okey. Kita perlu juga menyediakan ilmu-ilmu yang berkaitan dengan keduniaan. This game can teach us about our place in the world and as well as how small we are compared to this great invention. In addition, they able to recognize our countries, other countries. Ini pun penting kita, kerana sekarang ni anak-anak kita mereka hanya tahu tentang dunia dunia Malaysia saja ataupun tempat mereka sendiri saja. Jadi penting untuk anak-anak tahu di mana kita berada dalam dunia ini. Okay. Seterusnya, selection of reading books. Encourage children to read the newspaper together. Saya seusia belum setahun lagi saya akan dukung anak saya letak di atas riba untuk membaca newspaper bersama-sama. Okay. So that they can become knowledgeable with the field of knowledge and future jobs. Tapi sekarang ni kita dah tak ada newspaper. Kita hanya ada tabs dan sebagainya. Bagi saya newspaper masih lagi relevan sekarang ni. Banyak berita-berita yang keluar secara maya. Jadi ini boleh cepat merosakkan mata kita sebagainya. Buy educational reading materials and science fiction novels. Ajak anak-anak untuk pergi ke perpustakaan ataupun beli buku novel. Encourage children. Ini boleh bila kita mengajak mereka membaca, ini boleh memahirkan mereka berkomunikasi dengan masyarakat. Berkomunikasi dengan kawan-kawan persekitaran dan kerana untuk STEM, contoh kata kalau dia menjadi seorang doktor, dia perlukan komunikasi yang bagus untuk memberi penerangan kepada pesakit dia. Itu yang pentingnya mereka ni membaca novel untuk meningkatkan penguasaan bahasa mereka. Encourage children to write notes so that they will have a good memory of the lesson. Galakkan anak-anak untuk menulis nota mereka sendiri dengan menyediakan pen-pen yang berwarna dan sebagainya. Mana saya begitu kagum dengan ada seorang kawan saya tu, dia tolong buatkan nota untuk anak dia. So dia boleh study dengan anak dia. Macam tu. Tapi saya tidaklah mampu begitu, saya cuma bagi penerangan macam mana untuk meningkatkan memory. Okey. Nutrition pula, pemakanan sangat penting untuk meningkatkan keboleh fikiran. Apa yang kita nak katakan, untuk membolehkan mereka ini cekap dengan bantuan-bantuan pemakanan. Choosing nutrition food according to the food pyramid. Okay. Kita tengok dalam piramid makanan di Malaysia, apa yang banyak yang perlu kita makan, sayur-sayuran, lemak, gula, garam ni kena makan sedikit sajalah. Avoid fast food. Bukan tak boleh makan, boleh makan, tetapi dalam kadar yang dalam kadar yang sedikit. Kalau teringin sangat, contoh kata KFC ke, itu bolehlah, McDonald's ke. Cooking food to ensure food hygiene and quality. Okay, masak yang simple-simple saja, masak yang mereka suka saja, tapi berkhasiat. Itu yang penting. It is unnecessary to take supplement pills because the variety of foods and fruits is adequate. Supplement pills kalau terlalu banyak dia akan menjadi waste. Jadi waste dalam perut kita. Jadi memadailah dengan makanan-makanan yang bernutrisi untuk kita berikan kepada anak-anak. Okay. Encourage sunnah nutrition such as dates, honey and raisin. Buah kurma, bali, buah tembikai, susu. How to develop interest to STEM in secondary school level. As a parent, we should allow them to choose when they want to do their favorite activities, such as encouraging them to make their own schedule. When it is appropriate to watch television, play, do homework, or assist parents with chores such as sweeping and throwing trash. Okay, beri peluang kepada anak-anak untuk menyediakan plan ataupun jadual mereka sendiri. Bila mereka nak tengok televisyen, bila mereka nak bermain, untuk melakukan homework, jangan push anak-anak dekat sini. Kalau mereka sedang menonton TV, jangan minta mereka untuk berbuat sesuatu untuk kita. Sebab ini akan mengganggu emosi anak-anak. Okay, get children used to counting things. Contohnya, kalau macam saya di rumah ada 6 orang. Jadi saya minta anak-anak bila saya sediakan makanan, mereka hendaklah membahagi-bahagikan makanan itu mengikut berapa orang yang boleh makan. Such as how much food we need to prepare for the family. Berapa lagi yang perlu kita sediakan. Jadi di situ untuk merangsang mereka untuk berfikir, bagi, tolak, campur. Jadi kat situ mereka akan lebih alert lah tentang mathematics. If their children are struggling in a subject, their parents must be willing to meet with the teacher and learn from him or her. Ini pernah saya lakukan, ya. I have been to science classes or seminars where children were present. Study biology with the teacher and ask the teacher how a function works and how to learn more physics and mathematics. I will discuss with the kids when I get home. Saya background saya ialah daripada pendidikan agama yang berbahasa Arab. Ya, jadi saya tak faham sangat berkenaan dengan kalau anak saya lemah, maths, macam mana saya nak bantu. Jadi contoh kata biologi. Jadi saya pergi kepada cikgu dia dan saya belajar bersikit macam mana saya boleh bantu anak saya. Macam mana untuk skor soalan-soalan dalam soalan-soalan dalam subjek itu. Contohnya biologi, saya akan pergi tanya kepada cikgu dia. Kalau KH, kemahiran hidup, saya akan jumpa dengan cikgu dia. Macam mana anak saya boleh dapat A? Jadi dia akan bagi panduan. Jadi saya bersyukur kepada Allah SWT kerana kawan-kawan sangat membantu. Okay, always encourage children interest in arts. Arts ni dia boleh membentuk kreativiti dan arts ini boleh untuk emotional touch dalam sesuatu perkara. Untuk arts ni, contoh kata anak saya dia memang minat untuk Chinese calligraphy. So saya suruh dia belajar dan sebagainya, dan kebetulan pun memang anak saya daripada sekolah Cina ya. Sekolah Cina ni memang mereka ni menggalakkan dari segi matematik dan sebagainya ya. Untuk sekolah dan sebagainya ya. Okey. Encourage children to join association in school as well as uniform a unit in school. I suggest my kid to choose the Red Crescent Society because with that skill allows them to help people. Jadi saya galakkan mereka. Ramai juga ada ibu bapa yang tidak menggemari anak-anak mereka untuk menyertai unit beruniform atau apa-apa persatuan di sekolah. Saya kata akan merugikan. Jadi skill untuk berkomunikasi, skill untuk melakukan sesuatu kerja itu dengan lebih baik. Jadi kita perlu tengok orang persekitaran kita, bagaimana mereka lakukan. Jadi kalau ada juga yang student saya masa PMR straight A, tapi dia tak boleh pergi ke mana-mana. Tak boleh, kawan dia yang dapat 7A boleh pergi ke sekolah asrama penuh. Saya panggil dia. Kenapa awak tidak dapat sekolah asrama penuh? Sedangkan awak straight A berbanding dengan kawan awak. Dia kata dia pun tak tahu. Jadi saya kata dengan dia, kerana co-curriculum awak tak cukup. Jadi skill awak berkomunikasi, skill awak terhadap alam persekitaran tu kurang. So tingkatan 4 awak mesti ikut saya. Jadi diikutlah saya. Sekarang ni di Universiti Melaya dia ambil medical engineering. Dia ambil sekarang. Also encourage children to get involved abroad as such as Hong Kong and Korea as Malaysian representative to BSMM gathering. Jadi kita tengok bagi minat untuk anak keluar negara, melihat negara orang, lihat bagaimana cara orang bekerja di Korea, di Hong Kong, macam mana mereka ni bekerja ya. Dia lain daripada Malaysia. Jadi bila mereka balik ke Malaysia, jadi mereka boleh menerangkan kepada kawan-kawan. Encourage children to learn ethnic languages in Malaysia such as Chinese, Arabic, because it can encourage the mixing the culture and knowledge in the community. Besides that, language plays an important role in their future careers as they will meet a wide variety of people of different races. Okay, di Malaysia kadang-kadang ada orang Cina dia tak faham bahasa Melayu dan juga tidak faham bahasa Inggeris. Jadi untuk memberi mereka kemampuan untuk berkomunikasi dengan passion mereka ataupun dengan kawan-kawan mereka, jadi saya menyuruh mereka ini belajar bahasa Cina, sebab Arabik pun mereka sudah belajar di sekolah menengah mereka belajar Arabik, dan di luar masa ketika abang dia study, kakak dia study dekat UM, jadi saya menggalakkan mereka untuk mengambil bahasa Cina ya. Okey. Saya tak pandai bahasa Cina. Saya pandai bahasa Arab saja. Okey. Jadi kita dah nak habis. Tips for parents. Train them to start their day with a good intention. Jadi kena ada niat. Jadi ibu bapa pun kena ada niat untuk membentuk satu generasi yang boleh membangunkan dan memakmurkan Malaysia dengan baik melalui bidang-bidang STEM. Kerana bukan saja bidang STEM, sebenarnya bidang-bidang lain pun dia boleh memberi sumbangan yang baik dan juga memberi sumbangan kestabilan dalam negara kita. Kemudian dalam masa kita mengajar, control your temper. Jangan marah. Bila nak mengajar, banyak-banyakkan istighfar. Jangan marah dengan kedegilan, dengan kebebalan anak-anak kita. Dan juga saya bersyukur kepada Allah SWT kerana Allah bagi saya bila mengajar, saya mengajar kelas hujung-hujung. Tapi saya insaf bila saya mengajar kelas ujung ni. Jarang sekali saya dapat kelas-kelas yang agak pandai. Kerana saya boleh merasai apa yang anak-anak akan rasa jika saya marah. Jadi ini memang jaranglah kita dengar kan, control your temper. Train our kids in doing good decision through prayers and doa. Doa ni ialah senjata orang mukmin. Jadi kita kena sentiasa berdoa. Ibu bapa kena sentiasa berdoa. Guru-guru kena sentiasa berdoa untuk anak-anak muridnya. Be a good teacher. Kalau kita boleh mengajar anak orang dengan baik, maka kita pun macam mana kita nak baik dengan anak-anak kita sendiri. Ya, macam itulah. Okay. Give them support in making the decision. Okay. Apa juga yang bidang yang mereka pilih. Apa juga mereka yang pilih. Kadang-kadang anak kita bukan semua A. Ada juga yang dapat B. Tapi kita katakan betapa adilnya Allah memberikan kita B itu untuk merendahkan diri kita supaya kita tidak berlaku sombong. Always have a good and open-minded discussion. Ini sangat penting. Kadang-kadang ibu bapa sangat memberi tekanan yang hebat supaya anak-anak ini berjaya. Kerana saya pernah berjumpa dengan ada seorang student hampir membunuh diri kerana ibu bapanya sangat memberi penekanan. Awak mesti dapat semua A dalam SPM. Kemudian saya ambil murid tu, saya bagi tahu dengan dia apa-apa juga yang awak telah putuskan, maka teruskan. Tapi untuk mendapat result yang bagus tu satu perkara yang sangat penting kerana orang boleh terima kita. Di universiti nanti orang boleh terima kita di mana-mana saja. Tapi kalau kita kurang, maka kita akan kuranglah peluang kita untuk mendapatkan tempat yang terbaik. Provide information about the occupation through reading and etc. Okay. Sebagai ibu bapa kita kena, sebagai ibu bapa, guru-guru kita kena memberi pendedahan kepada anak-anak bagaimana sesuatu pekerjaan itu berlaku. Bukan keuntungan yang ingin kita dapat. Contoh kata untuk menjadi doktor. Bukan gaji yang kita inginkan, tetapi bagaimana kita boleh menolong dan juga membantu manusia lain. Okay? Be a supportive parent when it come to seeking news knowledge. Kita kena jadi parents yang sentiasa berpositif. Kita jangan jadi parent yang negatif. Kita melihat orang itu, anak itu tidak berapa bagus, maka kita akan memandang dia negatif. Saya ada murid seorang yang gagap, dia gagap. Kelas ujung. Saya selalu bagi nasihat kepada dia. Saya tanya dengan dia, apa yang awak minat? Dia kata, saya minat komputer. So, awak selepas ni awak akan belajar komputer. Ambil pergi college dan sebagainya. Dan dalam kelas dia adalah satu-satunya murid yang sekarang ambil degree dalam komputer. Jadi saya kata dengan dia, walaupun awak gagap, awak boleh berjaya. Siapa saja yang tidak boleh berjaya, kalau kita berusaha, maka kita boleh berjaya. InsyaAllah. Okay? Kena support apa juga anak-anak kita, bidang apa yang mereka minat. Don't give too much pressure and stress them out during learning and examination. Jangan kita pressure mereka. Jangan streskan. Masa nak ambil peperiksaan pun jangan bagi anak-anak stres. Kita boleh teman saja mereka untuk belajar. Kalau kata mereka belajar sampai pukul 12, temanlah anak itu untuk belajar. Tak apa, kita buat kerja kita dan mereka buat kerja mereka. Jangan streskan mereka. Kalau mereka stres, mereka tidak boleh membuat sesuatu perkara itu dengan baik. Let them make their own. bagi peluang kepada mereka untuk mencipta sesuatu untuk diri mereka dan menggarap sejarah bagi mereka. Ya. So, kerana kita pun sudah ada sejarah kita. Okey, jadi anak-anak kita kita beri peluang untuk mereka menggarap sejarah mereka pula. Ya. Okey, walaupun kita melihat perkara ini, namun begitu pihak ibu bapa mestilah sedar walaupun kebolehan anak kita dalam mengejar mereka ni dapat A, namun mereka kena sedar bila masuk ke peringkat universiti, perkara ini perlu diambil perhatian. Purata 5 tahun markah merit lepasan SPM. Ya, saya suka nak bercakap berkenaan dengan ini kerana ada ibu bapa yang tak faham bagaimana untuk mencapai merit itu. Contoh kata SPM-nya secara dasarnya dapat 70 merit dan hendaklah dicampur dengan markah co-curriculum 10%. Kalau mereka hanya ada 70% saja untuk peperiksaan SPM, kalau co-curriculum mereka mendapat 90%, jadi altogether mereka akan dapat 79 merit berbanding dengan mereka ini tidak mempunyai merit yang banyak co-curriculum. Contoh kata mereka hanya setakat dapat 2.3. So 70 campur dengan 2.3 jadi 72.3. Jadi ini menyebabkan mereka akan keterbelakang sedikit. Jadi peluang untuk mereka mendapatkan peluang untuk mengikuti STEM itu agak berbeza daripada seorang ke seorang. Ya. Okey, untuk itu sekian, terima kasih dan saya bagi peluang untuk bertanyakan soalan ke kalau ada lah. Okey. Cepat sangat ke saya cakap tu?
Tak.
Okey.
Terima kasih Puan Zalina. Thank you Puan Zalina for your talk.
Ya, sama-sama.
I think we see someone who wants to ask a question. Can technical please?
Okey. Dr. Farida.
Okey, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh Puan Zalina.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Terima kasih atas perkongsian yang baik dan manfaat bagi kami sebagai ibu bapa yang bakal mendidik anak-anak masa depan. Okay, saya ada 2 soalan di sini. Yang pertama, kita tahu anak-anak sekarang ni lebih kepada gadget. Lebih kepada telefon sepanjang masa 24 jam telefon. Jadi macam mana kita nak arahkan minat mereka selari dengan STEM yang kita bincangkan hari ini? Soalan yang kedua saya adalah, adakah Puan menetapkan anak-anak Puan perlu mendapatkan markah yang terbaik sewaktu peperiksaan ataupun lebih kepada apa saja markah yang diperolehi, kita lebih pentingkan kepada ilmu yang diajar. Sekian, terima kasih.
Okey, insya-Allah. Apa soalan pertama tadi ya? Sekarang ni berkenaan dengan gadget. Ya.
Ya, betul.
Gadget ni sebenarnya sebagai hantu lah bagi anak-anak kita sekarang kan. Okey, bagaimana saya nak mendidik anak saya untuk mereka seingat saya, anak saya yang pertama, saya hanya dia dapat smartphone apabila sudah tahun 5 di Universiti Melaya, ambil medik pada masa itu. Saya tanya dengan dia, kenapa ini mama nak beli gadget? Gadget yang canggih lah, iPhone ke whatever lah. Dia kata tak perlu. Kenapa tak perlu? Sebab tak ada keperluan. Tapi awak perlu untuk mendapat apa-apa maklumat ini kan. Dia kata tapi pada masa itu tahun berapa ya? Tahun 20 apa ya? Tak ingat dah. Tahun 2016. Jadi saya rasa untuk mengelakkan anak-anak ni, untuk daripada gadget ni, sekarang saya menjaga cucu saya. Cucu saya sekarang ni sudah berumur 4 tahun. Jadi saya tengok dia pun minat juga gadget. Jadi untuk mengalihkan mereka ini kepada gadget itu, jadi saya buat dia aktiviti. Aktiviti colouring, jadi saya akan print aktiviti itu. Jadi banyak masa ibu bapa mesti kena ada banyak masa untuk anak-anak. Untuk anak-anak dan juga buat aktiviti dan suruh mereka ini melakukan kerja-kerja rumah dan sebagainya. Namun begitu sekarang ini gadget ni sangat penting kan untuk pembelajaran mereka pada hari ini. Jadi sekali-sekala kita kena tengok apa yang mereka belajar. Tapi ialah kita kan bekerja kan. Jadi selalulah kita kalau boleh selalulah bertanya khabar mereka di rumah dan sebagainya. Macam kita cikgu pun ada kerja juga kan, PDPR juga daripada rumah. Jadi macam mana cara kita mengawal, selalu jenguk-jenguk anak tu. Dan kemudian selepas habis daripada pembelajaran melalui gadget itu, maka kita boleh ajak mereka untuk melakukan apa-apa aktiviti, menonton televisyen ke, yang kita rasa kita kena buat sesuatu. Contoh kata kalau main game, saya galakkan ibu bapa untuk bermain game juga dengan anak tu. Supaya ibu bapa sentiasa advance apa yang anak kita lakukan. Saya cadangkan begitu. Kemudian untuk anak-anak saya tidak pernah memaksa mereka untuk mendapat banyak A. Malah ada anak saya yang sebelum tu memang tak ada banyak A saja. Contoh anak saya yang kedua, masa UPSR dia tak ada banyak A. Yang first one memang 5A, yang dia ni tak banyak A. Jadi saya tak marah dia, mungkin kesilapan saya kan. Jadi saya ingat anak ni semua sama rata saja. Jadi saya tak marah dia, saya kata macam mana ya kita tengok anak-anak yang lain semua rajin. Apa kata kita rajin? Jadi saya belajar bersama dengan dia. Saya bagi penerangan kepada dia kenapa orang yang banyak A tu dia nampak berjaya. Jadi saya bawa. Kalau ada hari adu ngerah cemerlang ke apa, saya akan bawa mereka. Masa mereka kecil-kecil, saya jumpakan anak-anak saya ni dengan pelajar-pelajar cemerlang. Selepas itu mereka jadi apa? Jadi saya bagi penerangan. Kalau kita tak biasakan mereka dengan macam tu, jadi mereka anggap tak apalah, apa salahnya kalau tak banyak A, kan? Kalau banyak A, you boleh jadi macam ni, you boleh jadi macam tu, you boleh jadi a doktor, you boleh jadi di samping tu awak boleh tolong orang kan. Jadi kita kena menerangkan pada mereka. Kalau ada juga anak saya yang minat seni, saya kata bagus seni ni. Melalui seni mereka pun boleh buat duit. Mereka pun boleh meluahkan perasaan mereka terhadap lukisan. Ya. Jadi anak saya ada juga orang tempah lukisan dekat dia kan. Tapi saya kata jangan ambil harga yang mahal-mahal. Sebab ini kesukaan kita boleh mendatangkan kebahagiaan kepada kita. Jadi biarlah orang tu mendapat apa yang kita rasa. Saya tak tekankan mereka dapat A banyak-banyak, tak ada. Jadi saya terangkan nanti pada masa hadapan nanti nak kerja apa. Jadi saya suruh mereka bayangkan pada masa hadapan apakah yang akan berlaku kepada mereka. Macam itulah. Okey. Memuaskan hati ke tidak, doktor?
Terima kasih, banyak membantu.
Ya. Ada sesiapa lagi yang ingin bertanya?
Sesiapa nak bertanya bolehlah raise hand. Kalau macam tu Puan Zelina, saya ada satu soalan. I have one question. Pada zaman sekarang ni, ramai anak-anak muda lebih suka lebih suka entertainment. So macam K-pop, TikTok. Bagaimanakah kita nak menghala mereka lebih kepada jurusan STEM sekiranya mereka lebih sekarang mereka lebih cenderung untuk mengikuti semua yang daripada arts stream yang yang berbentuk entertainment. Puan Zalina ada melalui situasi sebegitu juga ke?
Tadi macam terputus lah doktor. Macam mana semula soalan?
Pada zaman sekarang anak-anak dah cenderung nak mengikuti aktiviti-aktiviti yang lebih kepada entertainment seperti K-pop, buat TikTok, buat video. Mereka nak jadi YouTuber daripada lebih cenderung nak mengikuti subjek-subjek STEM, sebab pada pendapat mereka kalau buat entertainment ni gaji lagi banyak benefit daripada berbanding membuat career dalam STEM. Adakah Puan Zalina mengalami situasi sedemikian dan apa nasihat Puan Zalina untuk ibu bapa yang nak guide anak-anak kepada career path STEM?
Okey. Pengalaman tu pengalaman anak-anak minat, anak-anak saya tak minat sangat K-pop lah. Jadi diorang ni minat anime. Jadi minat anime. Jadi bagi saya tak salah tak salah kalau kata mereka minat kepada K-pop, tapi sebagai ibu bapa kita kena ada bagi panduan. Macam juga kita menonton wayang ke ataupun kena exposekan anak-anak kita terhadap dunia mereka. Jadi pada dunia mereka ni ada terdapat, supaya ada setengah orang tu kalau ibu bapanya dalam bidang agama jadi menyekat anak-anak untuk pergi menonton wayang dan sebagainya. Jadi ibu bapa kena menerangkan keadaan situasi anak-anak mereka, situasi keadaan sekarang ni. Jadi ibu bapa kena ikut. Kalau mereka nak pergi tengok anime festival, ikut dia. Dan kita bagi panduan. Bagus ke macam tu? Kalau macam kita main game jugalah. Alangkah bagusnya kalau kita tak banyak sangat main. Contohlah, bukan ibu bapa tak ikut main. Saya memang galakkan kalau ada anak-anak yang suka main game, ikut sekali dia. Supaya selepas tu kita akan bagi nasihat dan selepas tu mereka akan tahulah sebenarnya, ya. Kalau kata tak salah mereka nak berhibur ataupun mereka nak jadi YouTuber, kan? YouTuber ni gaji dia mahal lah, kalau lebih berapa K mereka dapat, kan? Tapi sebenarnya lagi bagus kalau kata mereka ni menjadi influencer yang ada sumbangannya mereka balik kepada masyarakat. Jadi masyarakat kita ini boleh maju dengan cara mereka ini terlibat dengan STEM. Saya ada juga anak murid saya yang berminat dengan main game, TikTok dan sebagainya. Saya alihkan kepada mereka, alangkah bagusnya kita boleh memberikan sumbangan kita kepada masyarakat. Jadilah orang yang bermanfaat kepada orang lain. Sebab kita pun tak pergi ke mana-mana. We have no choice. Sebab akhirnya nanti kita akan mati dan berjumpa dengan Allah juga akan datang. Betul tak? Jadi saya selalu mengaitkan, sebab tu sains tu ialah kehidupan kita. Jadi agama ialah mengawal sains itu dan mengawal kehidupan kita, memberi panduan secara manual kepada kita kalau kita ingin berjaya. Sebab kita pun lama-lama pun akan mati, tapi apa yang kita nak bawa nanti? Mesti kita nak menjadi orang yang bermanfaat, dan orang yang bermanfaat itu semestinya orang yang berilmu.
Okay. Terima kasih Puan Zalina. Thank you Puan Zalina for your talk on educating children towards early parenting in STEM. So we'll have a 3-minute break because our next plenary will start at 11:10 a.m. Let's put our hands together for Puan Zalina for giving us that talk. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. It's now 11:11 a.m. So for our third plenary speaker, we have invited Associate Prof. Dr. Teo Tang Wee. She's a co-head for the Multicentric Education Research and Industry STEM Center at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, and she'll be talking to us about the evolution of STEM education in Singapore. Dr. Teo is an associate professor in the Natural Sciences and Science Education Academic Group, National Institute of Education, NIE, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. She is also the co-head of the Multicentric Education Research and Industry STEM Center at NIE. She graduated from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign in 2011. Prior to her doctoral studies, she was a chemistry teacher in a high school and a specialized STEM school for gifted mathematics and science students. An equity scholar in STEM education, her research focuses on issues of inclusivity in classrooms with underachievers and students with special education needs. She has received the Asia Pacific Science Education Best Paper Award in January 2021 for her paper about special needs science education. She has published a chapter on an evaluation study of a STEM program for girls in a UNESCO report. She's an editorial board member of Asian Women and an associated editor of Asia Pacific Science Education, APSI, and Pedagogies, American Journal and International Journal. So let's put our hands together for Associate Professor Dr. Teo Tang Wee on her talk on the evolution of STEM education in Singapore. Dr. Teo, Prof. Teo, please be invited.
Thank you, Dr. Kartini. Can I check if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Okay. And I believe the full screen is on, right? The full screen of the slide.
Yes.
Okay.
We can
Thank
see the
you.
slide as well.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kartini. First of all, thank you very much. I'd like, for inviting me to be one of the speakers of this event. I'm happy to share on this topic on the evolution of STEM education in Singapore. My last name is Teo, and my first name is Tang Wee. So Singapore has been rather well known for its outstanding performance of students in STEM-based subjects such as science and mathematics. So according to the 2018 International Benchmark Study that was done by the OECD, about 6,300 students from all the 153 public secondary schools and 376 students from 13 randomly selected private schools in Singapore took part in this assessment. So there were 15, they were basically 15-year-old students. And for Singapore students, they were actually ranked second globally in math, reading, as well as in science, just after China. So what can we actually infer from the results is that the students can use abstract scientific ideas or concepts to explain unfamiliar and more complex phenomena and events. And in terms of their mathematics, they are capable of dealing with more advanced mathematical thinking and reasoning. And in reading, the top performers can retrieve information that requires the student to locate and organize several pieces of deeply embedded information in a text or in a graph. So basically what this is that, the Singapore kids basically are well equipped with the critical skills and resilience. So these are actually qualities that will serve them well in a rapidly changing world. The PISA test on the awareness of global issues and intercultural skills also showed that the Singapore students could evaluate information to differentiate between biased and unbiased sources of information. So nearly half of the Singapore students achieve the highest proficiency level in global competence. They also reported having higher self-efficacy in issues such as climate change and global warming as compared to matters which are related to global economy. Well, all these, results seems really stellar. But when it comes to academic performance, educational equity is always a topic of concern to most policymakers and educators around the world. So it's interesting, to know how the Singapore fare in this aspect based on the PISA results. So apparently, students from the homes in the bottom quarter of the socio-economic status has also outperformed students in equivalent band across the OECD, and also performed better than the average for all the three subjects, that's the reading, math, and science. So the study revealed that the socio-economically advantaged students in Singapore had actually outperformed the disadvantaged students in reading by as much as 104 points in the 2018 PISA. So this is larger than the average difference of 89 points between the two groups, the lower SES and the higher SES across the OECD countries. So, what is interesting here against this international backdrop, where there are calls for jobs of the future, in the area of STEM, is that there is a growing urgency in many countries, including Singapore, to develop their STEM capabilities um, amidst the perceived or actual needs to fill these STEM jobs. So what is interesting here is that Singapore's students' excellent performance in TIMSS and PISA have oftentimes been extrapolated to imply that there is a successful STEM education. Why? Because in STEM, there is math and there's science, right? So if they do well in math and science, we assume that therefore they also do well in STEM. So therefore, the success story of Singapore's math and science education has stirred quite a bit of interest among international policymakers and educators and researchers to find out how Singapore pursues its STEM ambitions. But then again, the definition of STEM has always been really, really fluid. To quote a teacher, an American teacher who has been awarded the Albert Einstein Distinguished Educators Award, he's called Jonathan Galach. He said that everybody who thinks they know what STEM means know what it means within their field, and everybody else is defining it to meet, to suit their own needs. So what he's actually saying is that, everybody seems to think that they know what STEM is, and when they talk about STEM and they communicate with people about STEM, they all assume that everybody is on the same page on what is this thing called STEM. And so it's actually very important that we come up with a common definition, a common understanding of what is STEM when we start talking about STEM. So it is, as the co-head of a STEM research center, this Mary STEM, which is set up in NIE, I will focus more on, what is it that, what is our STEM work all about, and what is it informed by, okay, which is actually a model that we came up with. And in the midst of sharing of, what is this idea of STEM that is evolving and emerging in Singapore, I hope to shed some light on, how we are thinking about STEM. So to put up front, I would just like to say that the kind of STEM that we at Mary STEM is thinking about is more towards the integrated kind of STEM. So according to Riley, for example, he said that, STEM, he described STEM as the intentional connection. the intentional connection between two or more of the STEM subjects. That is used to drive the instruction through observation, inquiry, problem-solving approaches in the teaching and learning of STEM. So I just want to highlight this word intentional. It is very important in STEM education because many of the existing STEM lessons are actually more activity-driven STEM rather than disciplinary driven. So for example, what I mean by this is that students may be very excited about a robotics lesson, right? So they learn how to do the Scratch program, click and drop the prescribed codes and use it to control a car using the microbit or some other devices. But in the process, not every student may actually value the disciplinarity of the STEM disciplines that is being integrated in the activity. They may not appreciate how the teacher had purposefully connected the STEM disciplinary knowledge and practices that that is actually embedded within the learning process, and hence there is a very vast difference between students which really appreciate the STEM and understand the disciplinary disciplinarity valuing versus just having fun. Okay, so the intentionality of STEM education is something which I would like to underscore in this slide here. So in this talk, basically what I have done here is just to provide a quick overview of how our Singapore kids have been performing in science and math, and how that dovetails nicely into STEM, because people seems to see the connection between those PISA results and STEM. And then in the rest of the talk here, I aim to provide some broad and specific insights on the fast changing STEM education landscape in Singapore, and to highlight some of these ground up initiatives and support that has been provided by our Ministry of Education to drive STEM education across K to 12 education, K to 20, in fact, up to the university level education sectors. So there's no way I can really cover every aspect of the STEM education landscape, but I'll provide snapshots of some of the important areas, and also to you know yeah, so there's the three key areas in the STEM education landscape. So many leaders in the world have underscored the importance of STEM education for economic reasons or for political reasons, like such as national security. And likewise, our Singapore leaders have underscored the criticality of STEM skills to Singapore's future. So here there is a news article with the headlines here. It says that math and science skills are critical to Singapore's future. So this is coming from our Prime Minister. And we also have in 2017, in his keynote speech at the ASEAN 50 seminar, our Emeritus Senior Minister Goh Chok Tong said that we must push our bright young students towards STEM. And our former Minister of Education, Mr. Heng Swee Keat, has also, in one of his speech in 2017 at the Istana, said that STEM education centers on ideas, inquiry, and innovation, and these are instrumental to life and can be applied to many fields. And here in this picture shows when he was our former education minister. He was actually in a school that has embarked on the STEM applied learning program. And here we have a student showing some robotics activity here. And this not only applies to students or people in general. There are also advocates to push for more women to take on STEM careers. And this is again at an event and a press, a speech that was delivered by our minister, Ms. Grace Fu. So why is there a push for STEM education in Singapore? Well, I think the most obvious reason is because there is a lack of natural resources in Singapore. And STEM education has always been argued to be responsible, for the intellectual, resource, building the intellectual resource. So in Singapore, we have three forms of intellectual capital. So the first one would be the STEM experts, right? So you have people who are really the scientists, the engineers who will do the R&D, and they are the ones who will invent and innovate and come up with new products that will help to push for Singapore's economic growth as well as to ensure national security. So that is one group of STEM professionals with that kind of intellectual capital. Then another group of STEM uh, capital, intellectual capital, are the proficient workers who are capable with dealing with the demands of a STEM-based workplace. So, for example, they could be working in STEM-based industries, right? They themselves are not responsible for coming up with the new ideas, the R&D, but they are the ones who help, in the everyday process of all these STEM industries. And then there'll be the general citizens who will form the bulk of, the people who may not be, working in the STEM field. They may not be the scientists, but they have to be literate. They have to be scientifically and, STEM literate so that they are able to make informed decisions, based on all this information, all this STEM related information that is, being downloaded on them every day. Just like during this, COVID pandemic, every day we receive so much information about how the virus was spread, the use of various kinds of, the various kinds of precautions, the different kinds of face masks, different kinds of lockdown measures, to isolate groups of people, ring fence, and all these are important for helping the layman understand, you know, otherwise they'll be wondering like, why should I be listening to it? Why should I be wearing a face mask? So we need STEM literate citizens who can make informed decisions based on all this empirical data. So these are actually the three forms of capital, in intellectual capital in Singapore that we need. So, but yet, despite all these overwhelming outputs of STEM knowledge and artifacts, it's interesting, to see that there are still very few Singaporeans who will take on STEM careers. That's according to the poll. So, therefore, there is this argument, to and call for the need to have more concerted and deliberate efforts by people, educators, people in the various social sector to help people appreciate and understand what does a STEM career entail. It is not about just working in the petrochemical plants and or working in the construction site. There are different kinds of STEM jobs. So to let people appreciate and learn more, and so that they can they will be more willing to take on these STEM careers. So then, in terms of education, in the education sector, what are some of these STEM education initiatives that we have? So I will break them down into three categories here. We'll focus on these three aspects of the education landscape. Like I mentioned just now, it's not possible to cover everything, so I'll just scope it into these three areas. So the first category that I'll talk about will be the STEM-focused schools for gifted math and science students. We actually have two of such schools in Singapore. And then the second category will be the education programs that have been rolled out and supported by MOE, our Ministry of Education, to help support schools in implementing STEM programs. And then the last one, I'll be talking about my Mary STEM Center, which is basically the only STEM education research center in Singapore that is focusing on STEM education research, teaching, and outreach. So these will be the three aspects I'll be talking about. So the first one, the STEM focused schools. So according to a review that was published in the US now quite several years back, in that report, they did a scan of the different kind of STEM programs in the US. And basically they can be categorized into one of these four subcategories. So basically, they have STEM selective schools. So they are specialized schools for students who are really, gifted and very interested in math and science. Apparently, there are more than 100 of such schools in the United States, and they span across more than 30 different states in the US. In some states, there are more than one of such schools. And I happened to be, doing my PhD work in one of these schools when I was there. And then there are inclusive STEM schools, which is uh, set up specifically to address the needs of minority groups in the US, so mainly African American and Hispanic students. And then there are STEM focused CTE, so career and technical education, those that gives vocational technical training as well as advice for them to take on STEM related careers. And then there's another kind of STEM program where they are not STEM schools, but they have, small groups of students in the school who are really talented in math and science. So what they do is to create a niche program within the school or niche program in partnership with another academy. And then the students, this group of students, a very small group of students, can embark on STEM projects and special STEM programs just for them. So there are basically these four kinds of schools, STEM schools in the US. And among these four categories in Singapore, we actually have three of these. So other than the inclusive STEM schools, we have the other three kinds of programs. So in particular, I will focus on the selective school. The first one, we actually have two of such so-called specialized STEM schools in Singapore. The first one was actually established in 2005, and it is actually called the NUS, so the National University High School of Mathematics and Science. I was very privileged, at that time to be teaching there as a chemistry teacher before I went off to do my PhD. Um, so it was in the founding years. I get to see how the school was set up, and we wrote all the curriculum materials from scratch. And it was a very novel idea at the time because this school was somewhat affiliated with the university. So it was, and the founding principal was actually a chemistry associate professor. Uh, he was at that time a faculty member of the Department of Chemistry at the National University of Singapore. And this school is very interesting. It is an independent school, and another interesting aspect of it is that it offers 6 years program, middle school to high school, so grade 7 to 12. So children age 13 all the way to 18. And I think most of you would know that in Singapore we have a national curriculum, right? So the students actually take the GCE, the Cambridge O level, as well as the A level examination. But what is interesting about NUS High is that it actually offers its own high school diploma. And this high school diploma has been accredited. It is recognized by top universities all around the world. So I remember in the first, when I was teaching them, I have students who graduated and went to Harvard, MIT, UCLA, Stanford, and all these top Ivy League universities. And the students also have the option to take the advanced placement exam, which is offered by the College Board in the United States. So they don't take our national O levels and A levels. And what is interesting, because this school has really the brightest math and science students. In the early years, year 1 and year 2 are their foundation years, right? So they build up their foundations in the disciplines. Year 3 and 4 are the advancements years. So that is when they actually learn more advanced content knowledge. And year 5 and 6, they specialize. And really some of the specialized courses are packed at the university year 1 and year 2 undergraduate levels. So the students, can actually seek exemption from some of the first year university courses. They also do research. That is something that is very interesting. And in fact, according to the review that was done in the US, a common feature of specialized schools, specialized STEM schools, is that they offer independent research projects. So, and this is something which is also offered in the NUS High School. And these research projects are really the kind of university level, master's and PhD level kind of research projects. So they are not confirmatory research experiments, but they are really research, based, projects that the students have to do. They are actually supervised by their own teachers who have PhDs in the school, or they do it in collaboration with external institutions like the university as well as the research institutes. And the second specialized school is the School of Science and Technology, which is set up, just about 5 years after